you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Justice and asks, what recent announcements has he made about increased support for victims of crime?
The Honourable Simon Power.
Mr Speaker, this morning the Minister of Police and I were pleased to announce the commencement on 1 July of a number of initiatives for victims of crime, including on-the-spot safety orders for victims of domestic violence, implementation of the $50 offender levy, enhanced support services for victims of homicide and sexual violence, and new information resources for victims of crime.
Supplementary.
Chester Borrows.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, what other steps will the government take to improve support for victims of crime?
The Honourable Simon Power.
Mr Speaker, officials will shortly report back to me on a range of options stemming from the public consultation document entitled A Focus on Victims of Crime, a Review of Victims' Rights. The options are likely to focus on simplifying victims' interaction with the criminal justice system and making the system more receptive to victims' needs. The government, Mr Speaker, is committed to placing victims at the heart of the justice system.
Lynn Pillay.
Speaker, to the Minister. Has he made any announcements on his government's complete abandonment of victims and survivors of sexual crime? As last week it was revealed that in 6 months only 178 people were approved for ACC counselling, and this figure had to be forced out under an Official Information Act request.
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Simon Power.
Mr Speaker, I can report that in addition to today's announcements, I am working on a number of initiatives to improve sexual violence victims' interaction with the criminal justice system. These initiatives include setting aside additional funding for sexual violence prevention programs and funding for the survivor advocate role.
Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Lynn Pillay.
Will he appeal to the Minister for ACC to stop this ugly and offensive attack on victims of serious crime who are unable to get the help they need to heal in the aftermath of sexual abuse?
The Honourable Simon Power.
Well, Mr Speaker, I talked to all of my colleagues, including the Minister of ACC, about initiatives that the government is taking in this area. Members opposite might be interested to know that at 3:30 today, with a bit of luck, I'll be having my quarterly meeting with the Tuanest group, who bring these concerns and continue a very constructive dialogue with the government.
Question number 5, the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Corrections and asks, does she stand by